Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with yet another mini set card review, and we have our first really freaking good card of this mini set. Arguably, in my opinion, a 5-star card, and we'll go over some other cards that seem to exist, and maybe you'll play them, but probably not. If you want to win these cards, we're giving away 3 mini sets out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link down in the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until this mini set comes out next Tuesday, I will add another mini set to that giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So let's start off with the Hunter card, the Triennium Rex, a 5-mana, 5/5 beast. So we have some quest support with the 5-attack beast. It has Kindred and Death Rattle, meaning if you played a beast the prior turn, you will also get this effect. You get a random Death Rattle minion. It costs 2 less. So yeah, you play this. If you play the beast the prior turn, you'll get a random Death Rattle minion in your hand. It costs 2 less. And then when this dies, you will also get a random Death Rattle minion. It costs 2 less. So you get some value, but it's a 5-mana 5/5. Not do much. I could see it seeing play in Quest Hunter. That's literally it. You're never play this for any other reason than constructed. Like, it's not good enough on its own. If you have like Death Rattle stuff going on, it like dilutes the pool, right? Like you want specific Death Rattles typically. It's not amazing on its own. But yeah, maybe it takes that 5 slot, which there's not a ton of great stuff right now. To activate it, you have the other Kindred card, and you have, I believe, Mukla. I don't think there's really much else they're running at the moment, so maybe it hits that slot, probably not. So I'll give it a 2. I'll just say not a 1 because, yeah, it's quest support, and that quest is one of the playable quests out there. It isn't that bad, and obviously in Wild, this is an Omega 1. You're never playing this too slow. The spectrum, the odds of getting a good Death Rattle you want to play, even with the mana cheat, is so little. I don't see it, but also pretty good arena card. You get possibly what, 2 extra cards out of it plus mana cheat. That's not too bad, but in terms of constructed, yeah, it's to me just a quest support card, and that's about it. And speaking of quest support for Hunter, we have another beast here, but this one's for Hunter and Paladin, the Brutish Endmaw, a 3-mana 3/3 beast. So again, 3 attack, which is again relevant for that quest because you need the 1/3/5/7. This says Battle Cry, discover a 1-cost minion with a dark gift. So you get some value out of it, right? And dark gifts can be pretty good, although on 1-drops they're not going to be super impactful. Like a double Battle Cry is rarely ever going to hit that hard on a 1-drop compared to other stuff and charge and all of that. Like it's going to be pretty low impact. Again, to me, this is strictly a Hunter card and also is likely strictly a quest support card. I'm going to rate it the exact same as the prior card. Is maybe you want to slot it into Quest Hunter. Just a 1-cost dark gift card's not going to be worth your time in Hunter and Paladin. I would be very surprised. Maybe in like the aggro-ish 1-drop Paladin, maybe, but I don't see it. So again, I'm gonna give it a 2 for the fact that you might play this in Quest Hunter and it's gonna be a nice little arena card, but constructed wise, I don't see it at all. And obviously in Wild, where you have a billion 1-drops and who knows what, and plus it's just a tiny bit of value on an understated minion, it gets a 1. I don't see this see the light of day for Paladin or Hunter in Wild whatsoever. And we have another Hunter and Paladin card here, a spell, the Synchronized Spark. It's 4 mana. You deal 3 damage to an enemy, so you can't hit your own stuff, but this can go face, but it's only 3 damage. That's not a ton. If it dies, give a random friendly minion +3/+3. So for 4 mana, you're dealing 3 and you're getting a +3/+3. I don't think it's a hand buff. I think it's on the board, right? If there's a minion on the board, one of them, if there's just one, it'll always be the one, gets a +3/+3 buff right out the gate. So that could be pretty nice. It just really sucks that it has to die. It's similar to what the card that people say my likeness is on, at least on the signature, was a Volley Spike. I can't remember the card's name. I don't know if it's Volley Spike or whatever. 6 mana deal 4 and you get +4/+4 on a random minion. That didn't have to die, and that card sees like no play at all. For 2 less mana, you get 2 less attack overall, and health, or you get the idea. Instead of 4, it's dealing 3. That card, again, never saw the light of day, this has to kill something, and that makes it a lot less flexible just to be a burn card going face, because, you know, it can go face to kill your opponent, and then they will buff, but the game's over. You already won anyways, so how relevant is that? But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like maybe an aggressive deck, like a tokeny deck. It's just a nice little buff that could be okay. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's probably not reliant enough. You need to have a minion on the board, and you need to kill something to really get the value out of it. That shouldn't be too hard to do, but I just don't know what this is going into whatsoever in the current metagame. I don't see it at all. So again, I don't think it's irredeemable. I don't think it's a 1, but I'm gonna go more like a 2 out of 5 in this. This could see play in either Hunter or Paladin. Both classes absolutely can utilize this if it's good enough. Like it can work in both of those classes strategies really well. I don't see that as an issue. I just don't see the deck right now. And as a result, yeah, I'm not going to give it a meta rating of a 3. And you know the deal in Wild, way too slow, blah, blah, blah. You need to kill your opponent on turn 4, not start buffing things. So again, in Wild, it gets a 1, and this is super good in Arena, by the way. This will be so annoyingly good in the Arena. But yeah, other than that, I don't see it quite yet in Standard. But this is one, again, after rotation, absolutely could see it seeing some play. We also have a Paladin and Druid card, the Twilight Timereaver. It is a 6 mana 5/5 dragon, which is not great. However, it's got a very powerful effect. It has choose 1. You either set the attack of all other minions to 1. So it's like the old wave of apathy, I think. I can't remember. It was like a temporary thing for like 1 turn. For 1 mana, you would make attack set to 1, and then it would go back. Or Yatrick of the Pure, whatever it was called, way back in the day. And, or the other option, or health to 1 mana. So that could be really good. A quality consecration for 9 mana or whatever. Or you could play it with swipe, right? And clear the board for 9 mana. That's pretty expensive, but this could be like a board neutralizing thing. This can again set up clears, but it's very expensive. Compared to like Scale of Onyxia, which was like a board clear for like 7 mana. You just played it. It was insane. It was one of the best Druid cards of all time. But yeah, this card, I feel like for the cost, probably doesn't see play, despite the fact the effect is very strong. If you had a very cheap like AoE to work with it, whether it be Druid or Paladin, maybe, but like the cheapest thing you can do with Druid is like Seabreeze Chalice, which rotates, but that would work with the health. But yeah, just setting the board permanently to 1 can buy you time possibly. And it's certainly a thing. I just don't know, again, what deck this really slots into, but it being 6 mana, to be fair, could see meta play because it could be an Elise activator, right? Maybe Paladin, maybe Druid doesn't have a great 6 you want to play. This could just be that 1 of 6 that can help you stall. So again, I'll give it a 2. Like, I don't think it's horrible. You could definitely, it has the versatility. Both options can be good depending on the situation. You have minions on board, trade into stuff, right? It does set your own stuff, by the way, not just the opponent's stuff. So that's also to be relevant. So much more of a defensive reactionary card. But regardless, I could see it maybe taking that Elise spot or be like a 1 of, or, you know, it has a possibility of fringe play. That's why I'm giving it a 2 and not a 1, but I'm not going to give it a 3. And in Wild, will you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess? Yeah, it gets a 1. I don't see it seeing play in Wild whatsoever, but we're going to leave off with what I think is an incredibly powerful card in Standard, not so much Wild, but it is a new aura for both Paladin and Druid, the Acceleration Aura. This is a 2 mana holy spell. At the start of your turn, gain a temporary mana crystal. This lasts 3 turns. This is a very, very good card. It's not as good as Wild Growth, which just gives you the mana for the rest of the game. Shows how insane Wild Growth or the Caverns of Time card is. Yeah, you play this on 2, you could play Elise on 3, you could play the 5 mana Elise location on 4, and then you have another turn to use extra mana, and then you're back on the same playing field as your opponent. But we all know how strong ramping up to an extent is. This is not true ramp. This will eventually net to be the same mana as your opponent, right? It's temporary. You don't get to keep it, but still, that's a huge advantage in the Standard metagame and can really help out with the whole, you know, going second, first thing. Although going first into acceleration mana is even more insane now, right? This is such a good card to play on curve. It's going to be obscene, just a least point there, or you play Xavius into a 5-mana or whatever, right? Like, it's just super solid. And I mean, Paladin, Druid, they're both going to want to play this. Why not? And yeah, Gelbin can recast this, I guess, if you're playing Paladin, but you don't really mind that. Like, it's not terrible unless I guess it eats the spot of other auras you want to play. But to me, this is going to be an auto include in anything that's not like super aggressive, like aggro Pala. They're not going to bother with this. They want to just play minions, vomit the board, but anything else, and getting to maybe Gelbin a turn sooner can be huge. Get to Amir Dristle and Druid a turn sooner can be absolutely huge. They got, to me, a standard card. This is a 5-star card. It's going to see a ton of play in both Paladin and Druid. I don't see any way around it. It's just really, really good. And in Wild, maybe in Paladin, it could see some play because it is mana acceleration, maybe like Reno Paladin, which isn't that bad. This would probably see play if Holy Wrath Paladin was still a thing, but Druid, they have way better ramp. You're not going to bother with this. You have actual permanent ramp that just, you play Wild Growth, it does the same as Acceleration Aura for the rest of the game, right? Like, I don't see it at all in Druid, but maybe Paladin in Wild, but more of a 2 stars in Wild for me, where you have a lot more valid options. But yes, in Standard, really good. It makes me wonder, are we going to actually see 0 Druid ramp come rotation with the next expansion, next core set? It's possible. Maybe they'll just rely on this. I have no idea. Anyways, that's it for now. I believe there's one more review later today, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.